Three, three, Great evening, everyone, and welcome to the Heart of Marketing, How to Win Clients and Keep Them. I am Tiffany Marshall of the System Suite. I'm a portion of the System Suite where we help everyone and welcome. There we go. That fixed my echo problem. So I am one part of the System Suite where we help small businesses to. Can you hear me now, Stacy? Is that better? Perfect. Thank you. You always got my back. I appreciate you. Hey, Kim. Hello, everyone, and welcome. So yes, I'm excited to chat with you all tonight. If you know anything about me, if you've ever attended any of my workshops, webinars, in person or virtual, I like to jump right in. So feel free to do that. You are welcome to use the chat. The chat is here for you. If I don't get to your question during the chat, I do print out all transcripts post-webinar and I do answer your question, if not by email, by video, and I post it on social media to help all of you all. You are welcome to take pictures, screenshots, or anything of that nature during this webinar. If you do take a screenshot, please do not post me with my mouth open. I am dramatic sometimes with my facial expressions, but look out for your girl if you do not mind. All right. So I always like to highlight the first 5 people that registered. I think tonight we had a total of 16, 17 people register, new people register. So I'm excited to have you all here. So if your name is on the screen, you're one of the first 5. But if your name is not on the screen, that's okay because you are just as important. So I'm excited that you all are here. So my journey in marketing started off unintentionally. I did not choose a life of marketing or automation. It really chose me as a young, ambitious college graduate. You couldn't tell me that I was not out to save the world. I just knew that with my degree in education, I was going to have all I needed, wanted, and more. And that was far from the truth. My first few paychecks were cute, but I was also living at home because, again, I had recently graduated from college and I was driving a car that was given to me that was paid off. So, life was lovely. I thought I was grown, again, excited because I was a new college graduate with a 3.8, graduated magna cum laude. I was hired at the end of my interview. So again, I was sitting on top of the world. I was now ready to navigate and move out. And then I got my first paycheck, and I was just not my first paycheck, but I got the first paycheck as, having my own residence. And I was looking for more money. And I was really upset because I didn't go to college to work multiple jobs. And I ran across a video on YouTube. It was actually Oprah Winfrey, Big Hair Oprah, when she had her TV show. And she was interviewing an author. Well, he's now an author, but he was an author then. And he talked about how great his book was and how many publishers denied his book, not because it was not good, but they did not want that information given to the public. So I was like, oh, if it's information that they don't want us to have, I want to read it. And that book changed my whole mindset. And he was like, you need to start a business for many different reasons. And as a millennial, what better way than to use social media? So I learned how to monetize social media before monetizing, before content creating was even a thing. I was really making $500 a day minimum on Instagram. So I just kind of learned by trial and error. Before there was digital marketing, before there was social media marketing, before there were social media managers, there were millennials like myself um, working online, figure out how to make money online. And I always like to add in this caveat, I am a good millennial. I know that we have a bad rep for whatever reason. I don't care to entertain it, but I am one of those hardworking millennials. So let's get into what marketing is. Marketing is your way of promoting what you do. Okay. I like to be clear about that because marketing is not just one thing. Marketing is a compilation of things that you're doing. So any way that you are sharing your goods and services, that is what marketing is. That's marketing. And so tonight we're going to chat about how you win your clients and keep them. So as I shared, beginning of my journey in 2016, I was not helping, but I was managing social media platforms for my clients at that time. And I ran into this issue. I was making them look great online, but they were not great offline. Tiffany, how dare you talk about your clients? Not talking about them. They did not have the systems and structure in place that met their marketing. So you can bring a client to the door, but that experience needs to be much more. So I have this question that I want to ask you. What is the cost of losing a client? So there are different terms that I don't really need to get into, but client acquisition is one. And when you're not bringing in clients at a steady rate, especially when you're service based, many times when you're product based, you don't have some of the same hiccups as a service-based business, but you want to know what is your cost of losing a client, and you'd be very surprised on that number. And if you don't know how much it costs you to lose a client, I want you to think about it. And the loss is not just financial. When we lose clients, it's not just a financial loss. And I will talk about that. And I also want you to ask yourself, how long does it take you to acquire a new client? Especially when you're first getting started. Getting a new client can really take some time, okay? Because you're getting to learn your business and how you operate. You're gathering some footing in your business, and you might have a client here, you might have two clients here. That's one thing about business and entrepreneurship. You will have some months where you are on top of the hill and it feels like clients are just, continuous. And then you will have a month or two where you're like, oh, what's going on? Am I failing? Are people not listening to me? Do they not want what I have to offer? That's just kind of the landscape that we experience. But you want to know your client acquisition cost, and especially if you have a team, whether it be a virtual assistant or you have others on your team, because that's a lot. And if you have any employees, you already know how much money it takes to, interview and go through that whole process of getting employees. And especially if you're in real estate, I have a lot of realtors who, enjoy my content. I always like to talk about their holding costs and things like that. So let's just say ideally you are a realtor and you have an empty property and that property is vacant for 3 months. Who's footing that bill? Who's footing the lights? Because you have to keep the lights on. You have to keep the grass cut. You are, absorbing all of those costs. If it's just you and you're a solopreneur, going months without, a steady flow of clients really affects your bottom line. Okay. And so I'm a statistics type girl. So I always like to know what's going on. And I just have a few that I want to share with you. Acquiring a new customer can cost 5 times more than retaining an existing one. That's a lot of money and a lot of time. Businesses here in the US risk losing $856 billion annually due to poor customer service. And I'm sure we all have been on the opposite side of customer service. And to be honest, through my trial of, getting my businesses together and just becoming a better business owner, I know that in many ways that I have delivered poor customer service. And many times it's not intentional. It's not intentional. 48% of customers who have had a negative experience told 10 or more people. So just imagine one person, and I thought it used to be 4, but it's 10, right? 48%. So imagine one person going out and they're sharing. And honestly, that's just kind of how we naturally are. When was the last time you left a positive business review? I know many times I try to remind myself to leave a positive review on Yelp or, Google review, because that really helps our businesses, especially our small businesses. The kindest gesture, because we're not used to receiving positive feedback, just because human nature is just not really set up that way. We just, when something is negative, we talk about it more than the positive. So this is all impactful as to why it's important to know how to keep our customers and our clients. After a bad experience, 51% of customers will never do business with that company again, right? And you probably have experiences as the consumer as well. Sometimes you'll go back, and even if you do go back to a place, it takes a while. I used to get my car washed at a local car wash. And when I got my car back, I don't know what they did with it. It's like they took it for a joyride, and they had to repair two things, my gear shift and my glove box in my car. And I'm like, what happened? Like, what did you all do? Oh, we're moving the umbrella. Like, excuse me? I was not a happy camper. It was almost 3 years before I went back to that car wash, only because of the proximity that it is in my area. But in that 3 year time period, I was getting I had someone do my car detailing at home. And he's so good, he's always booked. Actually, no, he's in a different area now. So that was I circled back to that car wash. And let me tell you this, they remember me almost 3 years later. um, so I want to walk you through this. I'm going to give you some quick steps in about 15 minutes. Okay. Many times we think that, oh, if I put more money into marketing, I'm going to get more clients. If I post more on social media, I'm going to get more clients. Your marketing is a part of the awareness of your business. That is where all of your leads, your prospective clients start with you. It starts from awareness. It moves from awareness all the way through advocacy. I'm not going to go through that pipeline, but let me just tell you the end point from people getting to know who you are, what you do for them. Okay, let's make that very clear. You're in business for the client, not for yourself. Once they move from awareness, you want to make sure that they're happy to stay along with you until they become advocates for your company. Tiffany, what is an advocate? An advocate is a person who will talk about you when you're not in the room, but they're saying the right things about you. They can tell people what you do, how you do it, how much you cost. They become marketing pieces for you. Okay? They become marketing pieces for you, and that's what you want. There's a cafe that I don't frequent it as much anymore because I just like slow mornings. But the owner, I had a great conversation with him some years ago, and he was like, I haven't really spent any money in marketing. It's all been word of mouth. And that's what you want. When you make your customer's journey strong and tight and fulfilling, they stay with you. And not only do they stay with you, they tell others about you. Okay. And even let's say you change companies, you change products, you change your structure, they still remain loyal to you. That customer loyalty is very important. Okay. So moving to our next part. Any questions? Y'all know I get excited and I get talking and boom. Hey, Rosa girl, yes, you make the list. Yes, and I know another Rosa too. All right, so see no questions. Now, any Beyonce fans? I'm not a big Beyonce fan, but I think we all know who she is. So I was like, why not talk about Beyonce? So what did Beyonce do about 3 weeks ago? What was her big announcement? Anybody know? I'm looking at YouTube as well. Anybody know what Beyonce announced a few weeks ago? Other than what's in this picture?
The tour, the country
Yes.
tour,
Yes,
the
Stacey.
country
Yes.
Carter or something like that.
Yeah, Cowboy Carter, right?
Cowboy Carter.
And so it was hilarious because it was like, here's Beyonce again, coming to get our money. She does it every tax season, right? I'm like, okay, you all can get excited about tax time. I don't get excited about tax time, but it's true. right? And Beyonce does her announcements, spontaneously. It might be at night, and then it's crazy because, we're all in different time zones, but you can tell when like the wave picks up, everybody's waking up in the morning like, tickets, tickets, tickets. So the comments on her Instagram were hilarious. Um, are we paying your bills? I like this one. Read the room, Beyonce. We are broke. Respectfully, leave us alone for a bit. I just fought for my life, and they're saying this because just last week she announced that she's releasing a new perfume. You know, baby, I love you, but I'm going to say no this time. So it's a play on words because say is a part of the name of the perfume and Beyonce, right? So her audience was very, very transparent, but they were hilarious, but it's true. So why am I talking about Beyonce and the Cowboy Carter and um her new fragrance, right? Beyonce can do what she does because she has created community. And now we're talking about, and I don't want you to think, Tiffany, I'm not Beyonce. I know that we're not supposed to be and we don't want to be, okay? But just metaphorically go along with me. She has created a community, right? Her beehive, and they advocate for her. So even if they can't afford to go to the concert, they're going to talk about it. They may try to get there, and she's been consistent. This is a woman who we have seen, VHS tapes of her practicing her dancing and singing at her parents' living room. Have you all ever seen those VHS tapes of Beyonce? It's like this girl, it's like the Jackson Five. Like they were groomed into this, not in a bad way, just saying like they started early. She also creates a sense of like fearing that you're going to miss out on something. And she gave you two options. And this is great this is just a business and sales lesson, just a side note in sales. She presented two options. Listen, if you can't purchase Cowboy Carter tickets, if the Cowboy Carter tickets are out of your pricing or your preference, you can get some perfume. And so you have a lot of her fans who are going to get both or who are probably going to get the perfume just to be a part of the hype. And looking at her tour list, I don't think that she's frequenting a lot of cities because I was told that she's not even coming to Florida. The closest she's coming to Florida is Atlanta. So if you're going to miss out on that, it's like, well, let me just go ahead and get this perfume. So she is keeping people in her ecosystem. How are you keeping your customers and your clients in your ecosystem? What are you doing to keep them coming back for more? Okay. So again, how long does it take you to get a new client? And understanding that and thinking about that, why did the client leave or not return? Okay, so here's what most clients experience. They feel like they're not being heard. They experience delay. They experience buyer's remorse, confusion, and anxiousness. Okay, because most times, especially if you are a solopreneur or independent business owner, or if you're just kind of doing most of your work yourself in your business, even if you have a team, because sometimes if you have a team, you're still doing all the work for whatever reason. We're great on the front end. When we're first talking to the client, we're available, we're responding to emails, we pick up for every call. Well, great. But that doesn't always, that same energy, right, does not translate through the client's entire journey with us. So then they feel like they're not being heard or listened to, or they feel like there's a delay. And so that's why for many people that know me, Stacy, don't laugh. But if you know me, you know that I don't respond to emails right away. I don't pick up the phone right away because I don't want you to expect that every time. Even if I reply to the email, most times, most of my emails are scheduled anyway. So you can schedule emails in whatever software you use, Gmail, whatever, you can schedule. Also, buyer's remorse. Have you ever purchased anything and you feel like I'm going to take it back to the store? And you might be like me. Sometimes I buy and I know I shouldn't be getting something. I just did not need it. I'll keep it in my trunk. If I remember it, I'll bring it in the house. If I don't remember it, I take it back to the store. Why do I keep it in my trunk? Because if I remember something in my trunk that I wanted it or I needed it, right? But if I forgot about it, it's already in the car because if I bring it in the house, I'm not going to return it and or I'm going to lose the receipt. So I keep it in the trunk. But people experience buyer's remorse. I don't care what the cost of your product or service is. People experience buyer's remorse, especially the more they pay. Imagine someone paying, $5,000 for your service, and then they're like waiting on you to tell them what's next. It's just not fulfilling. Or they're confused. We do what we do every day. You do what you do every day. Your clients do not. So welcoming them into your ecosystem, they need hand holding. We don't think they do, but clients need hand holding. Even if you don't think they need hand holding, you need to take them through, explain step by step what's going to happen. This gives clarity, this gives support, and it gives confidence that, okay, this is what I'm going to expect. This avoids you having to receive questions and emails or phone calls about what's next. Are you finished? What time are you coming? Where are you located? You want to make sure that people are not confused or anxious, because the moment those feelings start to creep, they are now regretting their purchase decision with you. Does that make sense? Like, once people pay you, it is not time to celebrate. I mean, clap real quick and get to work. And especially if you haven't had a client in a long time, when you get that payment alert, you're excited. You just kind of like want to just soak in that moment. Okay. Do it for a few minutes, but it's time to get to work. It's time to get to work. And so most times you don't have a marketing problem. You have a systems problem. Okay. This is what we don't think about. When we start a business, oh, I need a website, I need pictures, I need social media graphics, I need a logo. Baby, people are not paying you for your logo. People are not paying you for the colors you chose for your business. People are not paying because you would have bought a tablecloth. Your tablecloth and your logo is not solving their problems. Okay? So let me quickly walk you through these 4 parts of how to set up your structure so that clients have a great customer journey and they want to come back with you. What does your onboarding look like? Onboarding is once they have paid you, what happens immediately? It's almost like that Amazon effect. When you order from Amazon, what are you doing? Well, let me talk about myself. I can't tell you what you do. I don't know. So let me not assume. What does Tiffany do? I'm almost like looking at the window. Like, I know Amazon delivers all night. I'm checking my email for my update. That's sort of what your clients are also experiencing. So you need a structured system to make them feel welcome to your company. So one thing that I do in my business with the System Suite is we send, once you pay, our system is triggered to send a welcome email. And that email just gives a little bit of our story, like what we do, why we do it, and who we are. We don't lead with that. I used to lead with telling people all about the System Suite. People don't care about my company. People don't care about when I started or why I started. If you go to my website, there is no information about me on my website. People do not care about me, where I grew up, and what college I went to. That does not solve their problem. Okay, that has been stripped from my website a long time ago. What you will see is what we do for our customers. If you go to my website, you will see that my website is about my customers and the results that we get. So that email tells them about what we do. That email gives them my working or my business hours. I think that's very important for people to know when you're open and when you're not. And it is okay for you to be closed. Stop making people feel that you're accessible 24 hours of the day, 7 days of the week. We don't do that. Okay. That email also lets them know who would be the main point of contact and whomever else they might be in contact with. So I have released a lot of the tasks that I do, and I have a team that helps me out with things, and I have a virtual assistant. So I would say, hey, your first point of contact was Tiffany, but you may also be in communication with these people. I tell them their name because I want them to know that it's just more of us here for you. And so you receive an email that's not from Tiffany, we're still here to support you. So what is your process? So after that email, we send a gift. No, we send a questionnaire. I'm sorry. We send a questionnaire that's attached to their first session with us, that first strategy session. And on that questionnaire, we ask things that really matter. We ask things that help us prepare for the strategy session. We even ask for their birthday and month. We ask for their anniversary month if married. We ask for their spouse's anniversary. Their spouse's birthday. We ask if they have any pets. Tiffany, why does that matter? Because when it's their birthday, well, we send a gift, we send a welcome gift, but when it's their birthday, we can send a happy birthday email, right? If they have children, we can send the father a happy Father's Day email. Why? Because that spouse is most of my clients are women. That spouse is supporting his wife through her journey. I want him to support his wife through her journey so she can keep working and have, serve her clients and have revenue to pay me. Does it make sense? You have to think of service beyond just your client. So what is your structure to bring clients in and make them feel valued? Because I want their mind to be at rest and at peace. I don't want them to have any chaos. I want them to trust what we're doing and not experience any remorse or confusion. So what's your step-by-step process once that client has paid you? You need to have an onboarding process. Secondly, you need to have regular check-ins. Do not, do not, do not ghost your clients. Okay? Please don't ghost people. So many times we get started working and we forget periodic check-ins. I have it automated and you can do the same thing. Whatever service you are rendering, check in and give them an update. I don't want to pay someone and they don't talk to me. Think of this as a relationship. You go on a date with a man, you kind of like him or a woman. You go on this date and you're having a good time, that's step one. And then you don't hear from him in a whole week. How you feeling? Like, so you follow in and check up on your clients, and you have to know what you would say. That follow-up could be a phone call, that follow-up can be an email, but do check in. It's an important part of just making sure that your client is feeling fulfilled. This is a fulfillment journey. And so you can take a screenshot of this if you like, but this is kind of by one of the ways that I check in with my clients. And this is actually post project. So once we're done with the project, I follow in because I believe in servicing clients throughout. I don't just drop them when I'm done with their project. So you will see here that we send these emails out with tips. Okay. So the first email, once this workflow, this is called a workflow. Once this workflow is triggered, the first email goes out automatically. The second tip goes out 7 days later. The third tip goes out 7 days later. So you will see like they over a course of, it actually goes longer. There's more. This is just a screenshot. Over the course of 2 months, they are receiving follow-up emails from us. And these are tips because I believe in providing value. I already know that people's inboxes are full. So if I am going to inbox them, let me inbox them something that's going to really help them and add value to them. Okay. And you say, Tiffany, I don't know how I can't do all of this. I know. That's why you need a system, a CRM to assist you. Okay. CRM tools help you to tailor these interactions. A lot of the work that I do, a lot of the work that my team does, we don't do those things. I've lost count of the people that say, "Oh my gosh, I love that video you just posted," and I just said, "Thank you, girl." I don't know which video they're talking about. All I care about is that they watched it in some way, it helped them, and I'm grateful for it. So we need to add personalization to what we're doing. Even when you're doing your emails, just a side note, mention people's names and try to, as much as you can, try to remember people's names. And when you use a CRM, you can upload the client's photo, for example, and a picture of them, or your CRM will track their behavior. So you'll know when they open emails, when they click on links and things like that, because you could then use that information to help you. You leverage technology to help you. And here's what I mean by personalizing the experience. If you know me, you know this is one of my favorite brands, one of my favorite companies, one of my favorite companies. Okay. I love me some Tory beyond the products. I love the mission of Tory. I love how Tory supports business owners. I love their fellowship program. I love their nonprofit work. I love the diversity of this company. I love that it's all girl, well, there's some guys, but mainly girl power. I love how they give back to small businesses. But here's an actual email that a screenshot of an actual email that I received. And this was a subject line. We just lowered the price on an item you've been eyeing. We've all received emails like this, or even a text message. Like, nah, why are y'all in my business? And to be honest, I forgot that I even looked at that bag. I mean, I have it in black, so maybe that's why I was being nosy to look at it. But they reminded me of what I was looking for. Notice that they say it's a limited time. The price is now lower, and it's here for a limited time. Okay. Now, Tori does not know me. I will look, one day she will, but she doesn't know me. She doesn't know that I've been on her website. She does not know that I look at this purse, but they have a system in place. They use a software that tracks buyer behavior. And this is how they keep me coming back. They reminded me of what I looked at and sent it to my inbox. How can this work for you? There are several people that you have met, that you walked by, probably this weekend or last week. Naomi, girl, I need what you have. I gotta give you a call. Stacy, I need you to help me with this. I gotta give you a call. Nakia, I meant to call you. Rosa, I meant to call you. Do you have their information? Every person that says I meant to, I need you to pause, get pencil and paper, get your phone, whatever. I'm old school sometimes with the paper, and get their name, get their email, and you follow up with them. I have a running spreadsheet from when I first started, probably not when I first started, maybe 2018. I have a running spreadsheet of but probably 70 to 80% of the people that I've talked to that I still email. So stop letting people tap you on the shoulder and say, oh my gosh, I meant to call you. Or they say, I need to call you. I need to set up time to talk to you. They're most likely not going to do it. They mean well. Okay. But you need to grab their information, their name, and their email at the minimum, put them in your database, and you follow up with them. This is how you personalize the experience. And you can quickly say, well, Stacey, what did you want to talk about, girl? And then you send them an email, hey, Stacey, we met last week and you wanted to discuss X, Y, and Z. Here's my link. Let's schedule a consultation. This is you personalizing the experience for them. Okay. We're 30 minutes in and we're almost done. Quality insurance is so important. Don't judge me. I like the Cheesecake Factory. Okay. But I am very apprehensive about going to chains where I'm not familiar. I will literally go into a Cheesecake Factory and ask, what chef is in tonight, because I kind of know the chefs, right? Well, just the two in my area. You want to make sure that you have structure and systems in place so that you can consistently deliver on a high quality level. Your systems help your imperfections. So the days that you don't feel like working, the days that you don't feel your best, the days when you are sick, the days when you're off or on vacation, or when your husband has aggravated you, or when your friend has not returned your call, or it does not matter. When you have structure in place, things continue to move. Because again, how do you keep clients coming back? By delivering a quality service. By delivering a quality service. So again, what steps do you have in place to consistently deliver what you have to offer? There is one company that I follow on Instagram. And if you like accessories, you want to follow them. I'm actually going to give you all their name right now because she's just the bomb.com. Shop Koi. Stacey, are your hands free? Can you type this in the chat for me? It's SHOPKHOI. Shop, SHOP, Koi, KHOI. I love her accessories. When I wear her accessories, people always ask me, oh my gosh, where'd you get that? Where'd you order that? And I love to tell them. Her husband, thank you, Stacey, so much. Her husband recently passed. Thank you, Nikia. Appreciate you. Thank you. Her husband recently passed. Unexpected young man. Her social media has not stopped. In fact, if you go to her page, you will see that they had to, they have like a little disclaimer that says these videos were recorded before bereavement, you know. And they also had to make a statement saying, hey, the owner has told us to continue. Because people were saying, oh, she should be grieving, nothing should be going on. And in my mind and in my heart, I'm smiling because I'm like, here's a small business that understands things continue to go. She's not working. She's away. But she had the content ready to go. She had the products ready to ship. She has a team that's posting for her. What's more beautiful? I can't say what's more beautiful, but it's a beautiful thing to have things continue to go and not stop when something so tragic happened. Because we expect things to stop, don't we? Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. We expect things to stop, and typically things do stop. When things happen in our lives, we should have that freedom to stop. But I love that things did not stop for her, and I hope business gets even better, right? Because wouldn't it be beautiful for her revenue to increase? We don't know what her funding is like, or what if she needs extra money. But that's just an example of when you have systems in place, nothing stops. Okay. And last point is to leverage technology. So adopt tools that will help you automate your communications and your reminders to people. Even if you do hair, my hairdresser, I told her, I was like, when you get a new client, you need to send them a welcome text message and have a landing page or a picture that you send them that gives step-by-step directions to your shop in a picture of your shop, because it's in a very unique spot. And you could drive around minutes looking for her shop. So I know because I've been there, but just imagine you as a new person, even if you have a brick and mortar location, don't expect the GPS to give people the best directions. Have you ever GPS your way to your house? I have before, and it just sent people the long way. I was like, this is ridiculous. Send reminders. People need reminders. So if you do hair, if you do nails, if you bake, give people reminders, right? Automate them though, because you don't have time to do it all. For Valentine's, my girlfriends and I, we went candle making. We created candles. We poured the wax. It was a beautiful time. They didn't assume that we knew anything. They held our hand. Stand up, do this, do that. They went over candle safety tips as if we've never lit a candle before. Right? Don't assume that people know, okay? And I want you to anticipate the needs that your client has, and then proactively offer solutions. This will raise your bottom line. How do you keep clients coming back? Listen, on average, 8 out of 10 people that pay you once will pay you again if they're satisfied. 8 out of 10 people will pay you. If they paid you once, they're going to pay you again. So anticipate what they're going to need. For some of you, you've got to build in more services or build in more referrals, more companies that you can use as referrals or vendors so that you can outsource your clients to their next. Okay, and proactively offer solutions. I'm going to quickly show you how that looks and we will be done. So for one of my clients, she's a virtual assistant. She charges $39 an hour for $5 a week. Okay, so what we did in her systems and in her structure was I was like, no, they're going to need you past a week. They're going to need you past a month. And if you, as a virtual assistant, want to see real results, you want them to stay with you longer. So at the end of your consultation and on your invoice, you need to upsell them for 30 days. Okay, right now, if you wait after this 30 days, you're going to pay more. You're going to pay the regular rate of $39 an hour. But add 30 days now for $50. So this increased her income, right, a week by just that one ask. Does that make sense? She had to go back and just make sure that she anticipated what her clients are going to need. As your clients are going to need you as a virtual assistant longer than this period of time, and you need to offer them the solution before they think about it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay. So again, we had to add this to her system, to her structure, because we in sales and marketing, you have to help people make the decision. Okay. Most times people will buy what you tell them to buy. All right. And I want to leave you with this. What do you need to do to keep clients coming back? You need to map out your customer experience journey. The next slide will be the last slide. And I'm going to give you a picture of how my customer journey looks. Feel free to screenshot it. And if you register, you will you will get a copy of that. Set up your customer journey experience. What's going to be a part of that? Plug in wow factors. How do you wow your clients? That's something that I'm always working on. How can I surprise my clients? What can I do for them today? I went to a conference last month, and every person who stayed at the host hotel received a very nice gift. And so I'm in my hotel relaxing. I'm like, who's knocking at my door? I haven't ordered DoorDash. Like, what is going on? I'm looking at the peephole, and I can see the gentleman is in hotel, attire. I'm like, yes, how may I help you? Oh, I have a gift for you. I'm like, you can leave it at the door. Ma'am, I don't really want to leave it on the floor. So like I opened it and it was a gift from the host. So that was like a wow factor. It really added, an unexpected surprise. And it helped to, it helped to ease the hotel bill. And then you want to set up your offboarding process. Tiffany, what is offboarding? Offboarding is what happens when you are done with the client. When you have fulfilled the service, whether it be a service or a product, what happens? Do you go ghost? Do you expect them just to come back the next time they need you? What do you do after that? Okay, I might do a whole training on that, but I want you to think about that. So I will take any questions that you have for the next few minutes. We have been chatting for about 40 minutes, and I don't want to say too much because I want you to get just what you need and not forget it. Okay, understand that your marketing, okay, needs to match the same energy offline. Okay, your systems should match the energy of your marketing. And to my close clients, I would say your marketing needs to match them out. You need to make sure that you are giving energy and the best experience throughout, because that's how you keep clients coming back. Personalize that client experience, be proactive and consistent and even clear in your communication with them. And this is also an important side note, so that your customers know what to expect and you run your business and they don't. That's a whole nother conversation, but it keeps you in control and it keeps order in your business. Deliver value beyond the transaction. Once you get paid, it is time to make sure that you give the client the best experience, and they're going to come back hands down. And that would even lower the amount of money that you put in marketing. My mentor, if you go to his Instagram, you will be like, what? But he also built his companies before social media. He's just actually getting on social media now, to be honest with you. But he does so great with his networking and his referral system to where his business is solid, you know. And he has great, once you cross his paywall, he rolls out the red carpet for his clients. It's beautiful, okay? And streamline your system. So I don't see any questions on any platform. This is my customer journey map. There are other moving pieces in here, but this is not just Tiffany. I have beautiful women that I work with, and this is our structure that we use to keep things flowing. So if I'm out, if I'm not feeling well, or if I'm off, or whatever, we know what's supposed to happen. And I take a look at this, I revamp this as much as I need to, but this is the journey that we take our customers on so that we can ensure that things are seamless. I have learned from mistakes. I have lost customers. I have not always been the best business. I know, and I have learned from those costly mistakes. There has been times where it has been months before I had a new client, and that's just not comfortable. So we work to keep clients within our ecosystem, to best help them. So I just want to say congratulations to you all for even registering. I will send this replay out to those of you who registered. I'm thankful that you saw fit in yourself to even care about keeping your clients. Because if you really want to stand out in this economy, it is all about treating people right. People will give you their money if you make them feel good. Point blank, period. If they trust you and understand that you can help them, they will pay you. They will pay you. So I thank you so much, Rosa. I don't want you to underestimate yourself. I don't want you to lower your prices. I don't want you to shrink yourself. I want you to walk boldly and understand that you have what is keeping someone up at night. I have told you all before, people have told me that I helped save their marriage because I helped them get their systems together. Like, what a testimony. That's something to brag about, right? It's just something that just keeps me motivated, right? So I'm excited. Do follow us on Instagram. Check us out on the internet. If you have any questions that you're thinking about post-webinar, please send me an email and one of us will respond to you. Again, congratulations. Thank you. And you all